If you're dreaming of a trip to Europe, yes, I am. You are not alone. Tourists are back in a big, big way at some of the most iconic locations across the continent. Now, that's after a rough few years during this pandemic. Chris Livesay is in Rome, which has a few, you could say, iconic locations of its own. Chris, lucky you, you get to see this all the time. Good morning to you.
That's right, Gayle. Good morning. You know, gone are those dog days of COVID when tourism to Europe came to a screeching halt. You know, many thought last year was the rebound when a staggering 600% more Americans came here than the year before. But this year is setting new records.
Sizzling heat and more Americans than you can shake a selfie stick at.
There are so many people.
Compared to last year, a whopping 55% increase in tourists from the U.S. is jamming up landmarks from Paris to London and Rome. The traffic and the crowds have never been crazier. Fortunately, there are still a few shortcuts. Andiamo! It's called Vespa Sidecar Tour.
It's like chariot racing.
And like Ben-Hur before us, business is charging ahead. The founder, Luca Di Trapano, tells me.
You've never seen anything like this before. It's crazy.
A far cry from the deserted cobblestones of COVID lockdowns in recent years.
After that, the people really want to leave.
Are they making up for lost time because of COVID?
I think so. I think that they were waiting this.
And so were local businesses, says Giuseppe Roscioli, the head of the Rome Hotels Association.
I say it's a magic moment.
A magic moment.
Yes, after almost 3 years that all the hotels in Rome, 99% was closed.
Now they're making up for lost time. Room prices are up 20% in Rome, 30% in London, and 50% in Paris, while lines to main attractions can seem endless, as one guide warns us.
It can be long, very long, 1 hour, 2 hours,
An hour, 2
3
hours.
hours, of course.
Wow,
of
okay.
course.
And some people in those lines are out of line. This tourist is using a key to carve his and his girlfriend's name into the Colosseum.
Serious, man?
To the shock of onlookers. A crime that could cost him more than $16,000 in fines or even 5 years in prison. Bad apples aside, most are just thrilled to finally be among the people again.
Is everybody loving it, or is anyone kind of like...
And living la dolce vita.
Nothing says Roman holiday like a ride in a Vespa. Now, as for that tourist who scratched the graffiti into the Colosseum, his Roman holiday is over. Police have found him. He lives in the UK, and they say he faces up to 5 years behind bars. Nate?
Hope that's a lesson learned. Sidecar Chris in Rome, thank you so much. We appreciate you.
Also very happy that the guy with the graffiti is not an American. I was like, not an American, please, not an American.
Please,
You know what, Tony? I said exactly the same thing. I said, please don't let it be an American. 5 years seems a little stiff, but I also think you have to respect other people's culture.
Of course.
And respect
history.
their history and their country. I was so disappointed when I saw that he did that. Yeah. And I also like that somebody chastised him and said, you serious, man?
Yeah. That's right.
Not cool at all.
Not cool at all.